Do you have a replica? Maybe you have a kit car. Maybe you bought one or built it yourself. Or maybe it's something you created on your own. Share that ride with me, and I'll share my ride with you. Let's share rides. This episode we got Nuran's Ferrari 355 replica. Nuran lives close to me, and finally we got a chance to meet up and share our rides.
Yeah, what got you interested in Ferraris or kit cars or cars in general?
It would be a kit cars. So I'm just trying to remember what model that Volkswagen little Shrine Circus cars, the silver ones. I think they were like the Bradley GTs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I was around 8 years old, and my neighbor, he had one of those.
Oh, really?
And I remember him pulling it out, and I thought, this is incredible. Like just the way it's designed.
Yeah.
The way it.
You don't see it on the road every day.
Exactly. Yeah. I just fell in love with it, and then I thought one day I'm gonna get one of these. I'm gonna build one of these out of a Volkswagen.
Nice.
And then so I always had that in my head, and then so fast forward to 1994 when I saw James Bond. I saw this car in there, the Ferrari 355.
Yeah.
Where the villain was driving it. And I thought, oh my God, I just instantly fell in love with this car. The design of it. I wasn't much of a Ferrari guy or anything like that, but I just fell in love with the whole shape of it.
Yeah, I agree. Like the back end's fantastic. And that's what you saw mostly in the movie.
Exactly.
It's like
the sound of it. I knew I couldn't get the sound, but I mean, as long as I can get the shape and the feel of it, the experience, I was more than happy.
Yeah, I think that goes for a lot of us, right? Me too, right? Like with mine, it was, yeah, okay, I can make do without the sound, right? But if it's got the looks, I'm happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could sit in the garage and be in my happy place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I started this project with a friend of mine. His name is Udo Cool.
Yeah, we all know Udo, right? I've talked about him on the channel a little bit, and Spiro's car.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. Not a lot of people really know that Udo did this.
This was his very first car.
Is that right? It was his first one.
Before the Spiros' car, before like any other car he had, he worked around with Fieros. He was good with Fieros. He wanted to build the same car, and I had pieces already bought from before. And we kind of collided together and said, hey, I got pieces and you got pieces. Let's just join up together and just form a car.
Nice.
And we both would have a car of our own. So that's what we started working on.
Cool.
So he did the majority of the work on this car and just getting the right lines, matching the doors, just to make the whole feel of the car absolutely like real.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because even I've always noticed on the replicas that are out there, the proportions in and around here and the bump outs.
That's right.
Now it's all wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But this isn't.
This isn't. No,
right.
Everything was all straightened out. I think it took him about like 4 years just to get everything properly proportioned right. If you actually look at the hood here, you can actually see the curve where, as most kits are usually like the Ferrari flat.
You're right.
Panel there.
Now when I look at her over the back side here and over the, because this is the giveaway area.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Even the pillars on the side are actually reformed to match that whole contour from the hood all the way to the back.
Right. Yeah, it's got the full blend, and where right in the Fieros, it stops here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? From here to here.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that is a stock windshield. The glass is all stock
from
the driver's side. Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's plexiglass on the rear quarters.
Right, so you can get the curve in,
exactly.
It in, and because it's nice how they tuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was picking that up when I was shooting it earlier, and it's it's so nice. So what about suspension and is it stock Fiero or is it?
No, it's coilovers.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like it's sitting a little lower than a Fiero.
It is. It's about it's the right proper height for the Ferraris. It's about, I think it's 6 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks the business for sure. Yeah, and I was always, with me, it was always a thing with yellow, whether I liked it or not. But boy, do I ever like it on a 355. It wasn't until I saw your car, this one,
Yes.
that I thought yellow looks fantastic on a 355.
Doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. I prefer the yellow over the red myself, but usually I would go with the red on any color, any car.
Yep,
But
I'm the same.
for this one, it just fits. This is perfect.
How did you decide on that? That must have been a hell of a hard day.
No, it came pretty easy. Basically, we went with the theme for the whole car. It was basically off of 2017 488 Pisa.
Oh, okay.
So we took the theme from there from the interior to the exterior, where you can see the pinstripes on the hoods.
Yep.
And we just used this whole theme all the way through.
Yeah, and that does. It looks so nice with that the pinstripe with the gray, a little bit of gray in there.
Absolutely, yeah. It just gives you that hint of little class there.
Yeah, the stripe is a great proportions too, right, to the car and everything.
Exactly.
It's not like that little dainty thing,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't want to go through. I didn't want to put the stripes all the way through the whole car. So just the hood, just to give a little touch of racy. Yeah, a racy touch there.
That's part of it. Make it yours, right?
Absolutely.
The job you've done on the interior, this is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's so nice to look at and sit in, and the gauge package that you did there is like.
The interior was done by a friend of mine. His name is Fabian. Yeah. And basically the design-wise was done by me, but he's the one that actually got the materials together and
the hand stuff, all the hands-on stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but even to figure out how to do it, because you're trying to replicate what's already real.
Absolutely.
And it gets hard because not all the dimensions are the same, right?
Exactly.
So those proportions get kind of to get it all right, it's not easy.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why, I mean, for me, I have to build like 3 or 4 of them before I can get the right one.
That's kit cars for you, right? Everything you do is you're doing it 8 times before you get it right.
Absolutely.
That's what a lot of people don't realize when you're building, right? But it is that much work a lot of times, because most of us love these cars and love the proportions, so we don't want to miss out on that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, this car was built in 1997, so it's well over 20 years.
Wow,
20 years old.
Wow. It was even before mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine was 2002.
2002.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. So we know the suspension's changed. There's all bodies, big changes in the back. That's not stock Fiero for sure.
No, that is a Chevy 350 V8. It's bored out, it's cammed, and it also I installed the Phytech system on there.
Right.
I replaced the carbs just to give me a more stable ride and insurance that this car would start all the time. Right. And that when I'm at the gas station, that I'm not looking like a goofball that I can't start my car.
Yeah, that's part of it, right? Like the fuel injection, and the other problem is they sit, right? We're up in Canada and we're not driving them all winter.
Exactly.
They're getting tucked away, and it's something we have to deal with every year, right?
And it's a great system because it allows you to control every aspect of like using like a carburetor. So if you want to tweak things up, you could, and still have that functionality of a fuel injection system.
Right.
So it's a sweet spot that you find, and it works really well.
Yeah. Nice. It's and that's what you got up on the dasher. Is that the little Phytech monitor you got up on the top of the dasher?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. And that just shows me the coolant and when the fan turns on and stuff like that, so I can keep my eye on it. But usually, it does a great job.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Sounds good too. Like ours, we don't have that, either of us, none of us with the Chevy 350s are having a V8 sound to them, but that's just the consequences of a replica. It's one, we can, I guess you could go and the new 5.0 liter from the Mustang, and even that with the direct injection, right, the Camaro,
right,
they're getting a little more pitchy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it sounds good.
Yeah, it
sounds pretty good.
There's a certain range where it goes from old 350 sound up to closer to European, right? So I keep thinking if that ever goes, I'm not sure what I would do, right, for swapping it out.
Todd, I think we're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's just dollars, time, all that stuff.
So there's another thing I would like to mention is that we actually made the instead of the pop-up lights like in the original,
All right, yeah, yeah.
we went ahead and did these pods and flush mount them.
Yeah.
And
They turned out good, and I like because they're smoked, right? They
Yeah.
end up looking really
Yeah.
like they're good, and you don't, unless you know 355s, right? You know that it's not the pop-up headlight,
yes,
but
yeah,
they're a pain in the butt all their own.
yeah,
Right? I can tell you all about it.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So some of those things just aren't work. You know, there's a small package area in there to get everything in
Right.
and get it to work right. It's a lot of work. You know, it's one of those things that you could do like you did, get it running and off you go,
Yeah.
right? And worry about that stuff later. You know everything about this car, right? Everything that's
Yeah.
you were there through from start to finish.
From start to finish. Yeah.
How long did it take?
Over 20 years, 22 years
When to get it on the road, or
to get it on the road.
that
Yeah.
it?
Actually, to be honest with you, right now is the first time I ever drove it on the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just been, you know what? It's one of those things where, you know, once you built the car yourself and you put so much time and effort, and you don't, you hesitate to drive it on the road.
People don't get that, right?
No.
It's one thing to go out, buy a Ferrari, you earned that money, you're gonna go use it and abuse it, right?
Exactly.
You got the money, you can do that. These things are a little different. You've massaged every piece of this, and you don't want to do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you bringing it over and showing it to us, and you know, my followers, and you're gonna shoot on your channel.
Yeah, you can find Todd's car showcased on a YouTube channel called Autocraft with Udo Cool.
Great. Yeah. I'll put a link in the description, so it's down there too, to your channel and that. Make sure you subscribe.
Do you have a replica? Maybe you have a kit car. Maybe you bought one or built it yourself. Or maybe it's something you created on your own. Share that ride with me, and I'll share my ride with you. Let's share.